Derek? Derek? You out there? Hello. I can't hear you yet. Hold on. Something's going on. Derek. 1 2 1 2. My microphone's working. Hello?
Hey, Greg, it's just me and you, buddy.
Just me and you so far, yeah. We'll see what happens.
All
Nobody
right.
else really gives a crap, which is fine.
I mean, it is what it is.
It was a last minute. It was a last minute deal. I've been so darn busy. It's just been like going crazy here. So.
Sounds like a problem I wouldn't mind having, buddy.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. You'll have it eventually.
I'm getting there.
I'm not like an overnight success, you know. It's taken me 14 years to get here. It's taken me 14 years to figure out that, you know what, I'm going to go work for somebody else.
I gotcha.
All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Let me stop the recording because it's worthless. What we're going to do today is have a mastermind on multiple offers from the perspective of the seller and the perspective of the buyer. Okay. What do we need to do? Who do we need to notify for the seller? And who do we need to notify for the buyer? The whole thing to begin with, a multiple offer is nothing more than many people interested in your property. If you do not have a contract in hand, or if you're a buyer and you have not submitted a contract, obviously you have no standing in that multiple offer. Okay. As a listing agent, I will call once I get 2 offers, 3 offers, and they're all in the same time frame. I don't care about the guy who's coming in tomorrow. I don't care about the guy who said he would put a contract in over the line, or I'm going to go talk to my client. I'm going to work with exactly who is in my hand, right? It's the old saying, bird in hands, work 2 in the bush. That's exactly what you have. So as a listing agent, you put your house out there, it's at a good price. You get a bunch of people coming in and they're saying, I'm going to put in an offer, put it in. Hey, let me know if there's an offer coming in on that house. No, why don't you put in an offer, and I will not tell the rest of those people that I have an offer that also want to. You see what I'm saying? So whatever you have in your hand, once you get 2 or 3, just start working those offers. You can always say no to any of them. It just simplifies everything for your sellers, coming from a seller standpoint. So the first thing you want to do is notify all the agents that they are in a multiple offer situation. I normally do this with a very simple email to all the agents, a blind copy, so they all get the same amount of information. And the way we do it is, you are in a multiple offer situation. Please deliver to me your highest and best offer, signed highest and best offer, by whatever time, 6 p.m. tonight. By 7 p.m. tonight, my client will decide who they are going to work with. Those are important words. Who are they going to work with? Not they're going to award the highest offer. No. Who are they going to work with? All 3 might come in substandard, but you have one guy that, might come up a little bit more, or he might change his terms. Is everybody understanding that part?
Yes.
Okay. So who I'm going to work with. That 6 o'clock is a hard deadline. I don't care if you're in at 6:01. I'm here. I'm the listing agent. I am going to steer this deal. That's what a listing agent does. They steer the deal. Buyer's agents are nice people. They're happy. They're go-lucky, but they got 15,000 other things they're doing, and I'm not going to play their game. They're going to play mine. It's just a mindset of what you're doing. So 6 o'clock comes along. You've got 3 offers. One came in at 3 o'clock. That agent hasn't responded to you yet. Another came in at 5. The other came in at 5:45. So you have 3 offers right now. They're all in play. You present them to the
seller.
You present them to the seller. And I'm trying to find my dashboard. Nope, it's not there. Sorry. I have a sheet that I'm going to share with y'all, and it's a spreadsheet. I think, Derek, I've already given it to you.
Yes, sir.
What this does, I actually put the offers down on a spreadsheet next to each other, and it takes out everything from here's the purchase price down to, let me pull it up on my screen. Purchase price, cash concessions, home warranties asked for, any other costs. It takes out the attorney's costs. It takes out the commissions. It takes out the tax deed stamps. And you find out what your seller's mortgage is. It takes out the mortgage. And at the end of the day, the bottom line is, Mr. Seller, this is what your potential net is. And we always say potential or estimated. Make sure it's in big letters, because there have been courts, lawsuits out there that have wound up being in favor of the seller when somebody goes, this is your net. This is what you're going to take. Well, that's misrepresenting it. Okay. This is an estimated net. Estimated. Your numbers will change. Make sure you got that disclosure. Okay. Your numbers will change at the end of the day. And the seller has a very easy time to go, well, that one's the highest bid. I'll take that one. If he's looking for terms such as less than 30 days, maybe the terms, I have another sheet underneath there that says terms, closing dates, earnest money. Maybe he's looking to get out quicker, 20 days, and there's one in there for 20 days. He picks his terms, but it gives them a spreadsheet to what to look for. On the buyer's side, so it's very easy. At the end of the day, you take those three deals, you take the one that your client wants, and you go, this is what I want. You notify all three people and say, the client has chosen an offer. Notify two of them, say, the client has chosen an offer, sorry, it's not yours. Make it polite, because you never know, you might have to go back and ask them for that offer back in case this other one falls apart. And then the third one, you just say, hey, you've been awarded. Please get, page 8 and your earnest money check together, and I'll put it up on the MLS. So it's that easy. It's that easy. Keep your communication to a minimum. If you're a high I, stop talking. If you're a high C, remember that everything doesn't have to be perfect. Right? High I is a chatty person, if you're not with me, and the high C is the clerk that everything has to be perfect to get it right before I hand it off to the next person. It's a very simple system. Keep your emotions in check. Don't get your guy upset. Don't promise him anything, and don't promise the buyer's side anything. All your job is to deliver numbers to the seller. Right. Any questions on that portion of it?
No.
Not yet. Okay. Buyer's side. As an agent, your job is to get the best deal for your client. You're in a multiple offer situation. Give me the script for anybody know what the script is for your client when you're in a multiple? I'll be the client. Derek, hit me up. I'm the client. I'm the buyer.
Well, I've got some news. It sounds like that we're not the only dog in the fight on this home, and you apparently have good taste because someone else out there has interest in the same property as you. What we will have to do is decide, is this the home for you? Is this the property for you? Because someone else out there will be glad to take it if we don't make a strong offer. What do you think we should do?
Well, you tell me, Derek, what should I do? I don't know. I've never been in this situation before. Do I raise my price? Do I lower my price? Do I just stay where I am? What do I do?
Well, I think that we need to address the offer that we made initially. We sat down and we talked about the price, that it was a fair price. We've asked for some concessions, including a home warranty, as well as some closing costs. in this market currently, it is still a seller's market. So they do have a little bit of strength in the price. I believe that they were priced well. So I would say that we would offer maybe a little bit more on the.
Yeah, you get stuck. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't, you were good right up to that point I would offer. Let them decide, because here's the psychological point behind it. If you say, I would offer, if they lose, guess who's the bad guy?
Me.
You are.
Right. I lost you for a minute there, so I apologize.
I think the internet's coming and going here.
Yeah, but regardless.
Yeah, I heard you right up to the point where you said, I would offer.
Yeah.
Lexi, you with me?
I'm here.
Okay. You got somebody there? Can you talk? I would love your
No, I can talk. I'm good right this second.
Okay, good.
I'm in this situation right now, Greg.
Oh, you are? Wonderful. Welcome to
I am.
Welcome to the party. As a buyer or a seller?
I'm representing the buyer.
Okay. And so what part of the deal are you in?
So a little bit of a sticky situation here. They're going through Serva, the relocation company, the seller is.
Right.
So we had about 30 pages of additional documentation that we had to get signed. So we submitted our offer. Gosh, I want to say it's been a week now. Well, Monday. We submitted our offer Monday, and then the listing agent sent over the additional Serva docs. So I sent them to my buyers on Tuesday. They're in California, so there's a bit of a time gap there, and they've taken some time to get docs signed. So in all of that time, on Wednesday morning, there was an additional showing, and yesterday another offer was submitted.
Sure.
And so I sent them a message yesterday morning, and I said, hi, I sent over the additional docs. Let me know if you have any questions. The listing agent reached out that there's another party going back for a second showing. I don't want us to have to compete. So, if you could get those to me as soon as possible, that'd be great. And because of the time difference, I was asleep last night when they sent it to me, but I woke up this morning and submitted everything. And then the response from the listing agent was that they now had another offer. So they just called for highest and best 2 hours or about an hour ago for 1 p.m. today. And my clients are in California. And I just now got a response from them from their 3 a.m. text I probably sent early this morning.
Right. That's fine.
So a little difficult. I mean, my conversation with them, if you're interested,
Yes.
has been really only through text at this point, because I had to send them a text as soon as I found out this morning. And unfortunately, that was about 3 a.m. their time. But, I was like, sorry, it's so early. Unfortunately, the showing that occurred on Wednesday has submitted another offer. I believe the seller will call for highest and best. Sorry, he just responded to me.
That's fine. That's
But
great.
anyways, we're basically communicating through text at this point
Right.
because he's at work now, and he already works a crazy schedule in California. So basically he just responded and said, we're going to let the offer stand as is. But my usual script with anyone else would just be, hey, unfortunately, I just heard from the listing agent, there is another party that has submitted an offer. At this point, do you feel comfortable sticking with your offer, or are you, I basically asked my client, like, how much do you love the home? How much are
Right.
you wanting to move forward with this home? If we lose this home, are you going to be upset? I tap into the emotion because I am the high I.
Right. I know.
So that's typically where I go with my client, depending on, how emotional they are. But so I really tailor my whole business to the disc profile, depending on, my client. But typically that's my first question, because I want to flip it on them and see how important the house is to them. And that's going to dictate how I, proceed them to move forward, because they're always going to ask your opinion, I feel like, so that when I ask them that, their response dictates how I proceed them to move forward.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's an important part of the whole thing, is that you've got to learn to say, oh, not my decision. What I
Right.
normally say is, what's going to make you feel bad if you lose the house? What number is going to make you feel bad if you lose the house?
Right.
Boom, and that's it. You know, it's like, here's the ball, and I make sure I
Send
get
your
it in writing. Signed, all the documents are signed and everything else. If they want to stay there, that's fine. I think the biggest part, like you were saying, Lexi, if you're catering to their disc personality, you know, a D is going to drive you. D is going to drive you right. Oh, what number should I be at? Where should I be? What should I be doing? What should I be? Where should I be? Well, I'm already there. Screw that. I'm not going to do it again. What, you know, because the D is looking for somebody that is not going to take advantage of them. You know, or he probably thinks that you're just setting him up for because you want more money, right? You agree with that, right? They're usually
Right.
fear of missing out type people. The I is going to discuss it forever. Ask for every available option out there. So, and the C is going to want to know how do we do all this and how do we make it through? What happens if it doesn't? Okay. So the buyer side, I think you both got the idea that the buyer side is just managing their emotions, keeping them calm. If you need to gas them up, you gas them up just a little bit, just to get them activated. Let's call it activated into the conversation and the emotion of the sale. I think the last thing you want to do is go ho hum. It's an offer. Let it sit or don't let it sit. We're still here. We're still salespeople. And we still have to activate them. They want the house. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put an offer in.
Right.
Now, if it's a condition that they can't afford anything higher, that's a condition. It's not an objection. Or if they have a second choice, you know, go back to motivation. What is their second choice? So this is A, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer. And we have the offer in at what you chose. What's your B house? What's your second house? Set them up for the next house because there's going to be an expectation that this is going to fail. Set them up for the next house. Where do we go from here? What's on the, you know, we looked at 28 houses and we're done. We found the best house out there. $5,000 more might be worth it. Do you think? Anything that probes them into getting outside the box. One of the things
I
that
should be doing that.
Go ahead. Excuse me.
I said I should be doing that right now because they came in from California to look at houses with me, and this was the only one they loved.
Right. So get their emotions up a little bit. Yeah. What's the plan? You guys spent $5,000 to come into town, and this is it. You want to lose another $5,000 when you get here because you got to fly back, and maybe we won't find anything that day. There was one other thing I wanted to bring up. Where was it? Oh gosh. Okay, we're good.
Sorry, I interrupted you, Greg.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I was going somewhere with it.
Well, can I bring a point maybe?
You can bring up anything you want, Derek.
Yeah. No, when negotiating with the other agent, as far as you got a buyer and you're talking to the seller's agent, probing questions. How are you feeling them out to get how the other buyer's offers are standing?
Whatever you can find out. Here's what I know. If you ask me a question, you're not going to get the answer. You know, you're not, as a listing agent, I'm giving you absolutely nothing.
Sure.
Right? I'm going to rely on falling back on, sorry, it's something I can't talk about. They asked me not to talk about it. As a buyer asking a listing agent, I think there's so many new listing agents out there that they will pretty much tell you what their client's bank account says. And you should ask them. Yeah. Do not be embarrassed to ask them. And do it nicely, do it probingly, you know. So Derek, let me ask you a question. Hey, you got that, that's a pretty nice house. My guy's got a deal in there, you know. And I see we're in multiple situations. What do I need to do to make this happen?
Right.
You might as well ask it. Guy might roll over and say, hey, I just need another, grand. Might as well ask it. That's your job. You're doing the best job you can for your client. If he says, I really can't tell you that, okay, I can appreciate that. I just, sometimes there's a better deal. I got a pretty strong client. I got a pretty strong client. What do we need to make the rest of these things go away? It's not underhanded. It's not underhanded. If he tells you, he tells you.
Right.
How does that make you feel, Miss Lexi?
Yeah, I'm one of those.
All the feels.
I'm one of those who says too much. but
Yeah.
but I'm learning how to take it back. And one other thing I always do in that situation, is it Derek or Garrett that we're on the phone with?
Derek, D-E-R-E-K.
Derek. I always look up the agent in MLS. Not that this matters too much, but I do always look up the agent in MLS and see how much business they've done, just to be able to gauge my questions, because I found that Greg is 100% right in that. Like, people who haven't done a lot of business are more likely to tell you so much more. And people who have been in the business a long time and have done a lot of deals, they're a little harder to crack. But I guess this is my open house coming out on me, but I've learned like what questions to ask, that still get me the information that I need to be able to make the best offer for my client. But even with agents like Greg, you really can't crack them. So agents like me, you can crack a little easier.
Good to know.
Share the questions. So for instance, you're giving me a call. I'm the listing agent. I'll be nice to you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah,
What questions?
I always ask, what's most important to your seller? Is it the closing date? Is it the purchase price? Is there something that is of the utmost importance to your
Great
seller
question.
that would be beneficial for us to know about before we submit our offer? Because, and sometimes, or actually 90% of the time, that is helpful for both parties, right? Because if they need to get out sooner rather than later, that's helpful for us. And it just, when you submit the offer, if you already have one of those boxes checked in the right arena, that helps you,
Exactly. And that's a great
So
question.
that's the biggest one.
Yeah, those are great questions when you're not, if Lexi, to be honest with you, if that was 1533 Carolina Jasmine, who's been on the market for 84 days right now, I would say the most important thing is time to close. Okay?
Right.
I would tell you that because I know what my client needs and where they need to go.
Right,
Okay? I
exactly.
would help you with that. You tell me if you ask me what
See?
price, well, that's another whole thing.
I cracked Greg Flanagan.
Yeah. Well, he allowed you to. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was if it was 24, 22 Egret, I would probably tell you, yeah, you know what, they're not super motivated right now. Really, the place is paid off and they really don't need to move. So give me your highest and best, and I'll work to get that contract, accepted if it's a decent contract. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Right.
That's fair. See, I've heard all that. I've heard that before, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And that's an underlying, from an old time view, that's an underlying, hey, give me the contract. You pretty much got the contract. You give me a fair price. You pretty much got, if somebody says that to you as a buyer's agent, if they said it to me, this is what I would think. I can put in there, I can slice them off the top. I can get some cash concessions, maybe a warranty, maybe a new refrigerator. That's where I would be going. Knowing that, and then I would have an expectation conversation with my buyer saying, hey, I think we got a deal here. Actually, you know what? I know we have a deal here. And you're back to putting the excitement back into them. I know we have a deal here. All we got to do is come to some terms. And they're going, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So yeah, that's great. Great questions, Lex. Great questions. I love it. So Derek, back to yours. I want to do a little role play if you don't mind.
Okay.
So you're going to be the buyer. We're in a multiple situation.
Okay.
And so Derek, listen, I just heard back from the listing agent, and it sounds like you're going to be buying a good house. Unfortunately, a couple other people want to buy the same house at the same time. Happens a lot. It's called a multiple offer situation, and we can get through this. It gets a little charged. It gets a little excited. I can help you through it as long as we keep our heads together and we understand that we're in a bidding war, an auction type situation, and that we may lose. Can you agree to that?
Yeah. You've done this before?
I've done it many times, yes.
Okay.
All I'm going to do is help you, guide you through it. We're going to get you done. But at the end of it, there might be some crazy guy out there that wants to spend a lot more money than you do for this property.
That's right.
And there's nothing we can do about that. You understand?
I do.
Okay, fabulous. So here's what we're going to do. We have an offer in right now at $220,000. The house is listed at $225,000. All right, we're asking them for concessions of $3,000. So our offer is actually at $217,000. You understand that math?
Yes.
Okay, that's what's going to be put in his pocket before he has to do all his fees. So because we have two other buyers against us, what would be the highest price you would be willing to pay for the house and not feel bad if you lost it? And your options are, I'm a little unstable here, they're telling me. Your options are to stay with your current offer, which puts you about $8,000 below asking price, to increase your offer to whatever you feel is comfortable, that if you lost, you said, well, that was our best shot, and we'd go back to, we'd go back to your next house on your list, which would be what? 123 Main Street, right?
Right.
Is that good for you? Would you rather be in 123 Main Street, or would you
Well,
rather be in this house?
I like this house. We've
Okay.
been working at this for a long time. We came up with a number.
Okay.
So
All right, good.
I think we should stick with this one and be a little more aggressive, maybe.
Okay, and what's aggressive to you? What does aggressive mean?
Well, I would ask you, I guess, do you think that I should increase my asking price, or should I deduce my concessions at the end?
Well, you know what? That's a great question, and one I'm probably not going to answer for you because it's not what I think, it's what you think. What I can do is I can analyze it. Once you say this is the number we want to be at, like right now you're at 217.
Right.
They're at 225. What number do you want to be at the end of the day?
Well, I'd feel strong saying maybe we could go to the 222 mark. 222, 221.5. Maybe somewhere.
Would you still ask for concessions?
Meet them in the middle. Yeah, we could still do the concessions, the 3,000 concessions.
Okay.
So I guess
so
it would be add another $4,000 to the.
So at 222 minus the 3,000 concessions, you're at 219. So you brought your offer up from 217 to 219 on a home that's 225.
No, I'm saying instead of the 217 bottom line, we'd make it to the 220.
Okay. So you're gonna give.
So we're gonna go 45. Right. Some meet them in the middle a little bit.
Right. Okay. So you're gonna do 225 with 3,000 in concessions.
Right.
That'll bring us to 222. Correct.
That's right.
Okay. And you're good at that if you lost at that number.
I feel like that gave us a fair shot. We gave them the asking price. We're asking for a little bit at the end, but yeah, it's a asking price offer.
And if we don't get this one, we're going to move on to 123 Main Street.
I would be willing to. Yes, I would be willing to move to the next.
Fabulous. Okay. So I'm going to send you the paperwork and we'll sign it and I'll get it back out. We need it back by 6 o'clock. Time is of the essence. And I really do need to be diligent about this. Otherwise, the offer that you have in there now at 220 is going to be the offer that they accept. They accept that they'll review. All right, so I'm going to send you the paperwork. Click, click. All right, so good job there, Derek. Yeah, that's just to walk them down the road. You all heard my thing about bucket of water and a bucket of water in my right hand and a bucket of gas in my left hand. I'm only going to use the water. I don't want to throw gas on this fire. I want to keep them calm, get them emotionally charged up if need be. Derek, Derek, it's 7 o'clock. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Greg?
Good, Derek. Hey, you lost that house, by the way. Hate to have bad news, but you didn't make it.
What happened?
How does that make you feel, Derek?
Well, I don't like to lose. I
Okay.
wish. Did you get
Well,
any information?
we won't know for sure what the actual price is until the house closes in 30 to 45 days. So, we can't cry over spilt milk. Let's go right at the contract for 123 Main Street. If it's the original offer, here's one. Now I go back, Lexi, when I was thinking about, man, my brain works in circles. If you are in a multiple offer situation and you do not get an answer back, they should return, and as a listing agent, you should return a no counter offer document. You know that one in zip forms?
Yes.
Because you are not counter offering. Okay, you should return that to the buyers who did not make the cut, so that they know that their offer was presented. Okay, it's only fair. All right, make sure they did that. And guys like me will accuse you of things like, you didn't put my offer in. If you are in a multiple offer situation, I wouldn't do that anyway. I'm just kidding. If you're in a multiple offer situation and you have the buyer, how does that work? You got the seller and you got the buyer. What are you going to do?
Oh, you have both?
Yeah, you're a dual agent.
I don't know.
And you got two
That
other
hasn't happened to
offers.
me.
Yeah, I've never been in that one.
Well, I've been there, done that. What happens? Where do you go? How do you handle
You just
it?
have to draw that line in the sand, I would think, and just go to your seller, present the offers, ask. I
I was pushing more towards the other agents.
Oh,
Disclose from the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, from the get-go, disclose to them that you are representing a buyer, whether it's transactional or whether it's an agency, dual agency, and ensure them that it's totally up and up. I actually had one where my buyer did not win the contest, and that sucked. But hey, it was true. It was real. So yeah, if you do get into an offer situation like that, just make sure you disclose the heck out of it. Make sure you disclose. Everybody's up on board, and even give it to your team leader if you're on a team. Whether it's John or Dewey or whatever. Derek, I would probably CC Joseph, or probably Joseph, not Vince. Joseph, closer, just to let them know that you're representing both sides of the party. That's a little touchy. All right, questions I can ask. Ahas, anything? We're at about 11:40, 40 minutes worth. Answer any question. Doesn't have to be about multiple offers. Got something going on? You need a little hand? You want my skewed perspective on it? Please let me know.
My aha was definitely your role play with Derek. The script around what's the highest price you'd be willing to pay for this home without feeling disappointed if we miss out on this opportunity, or however you worded the last part of it. But I liked how you walked them through it script-wise. That was helpful.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very cognizant, and this comes. I'll tell you where it comes from. To be honest with you, we learned this 35 years ago in prison. I was a prison guard, right? And every convict that you talk to, if I told him every day to mop the floor, I would say, go get a bucket, fill that bucket with hot water, put a soap ball in that bucket. Now take the mop, push it up and down twice, put it in the wringer, wring out the mop, put it on the floor, and sweep the floor across. Because you never knew what his understanding was. So very, very oriented into step. Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? Tie downs all the way through. All right. That's where that comes from. You don't have to do it. I just find it gives clarity to the conversation, especially when they're charged up emotionally. You just told them, hey, we're in a multiple offer situation. What's going through their brain? You know, you got to cut through all that crap. So yeah, important stuff. Thanks, Lex. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
What do you got, Derek?
Also, with the role playing with her, you know, what she came with is what's the most important thing to your seller? Could you let us know what the most important thing to your seller is before we make an offer? You know, kind of scratch off one of the boxes before you submit anything, and that really gives you a little heads up.
Yes, expectation is wonderful. I tell you what, it's best thing you can do there. Expectation. This is what's going to happen after this happens. Anytime you do that, you're in a good shape. Anytime you do that, you're in good shape. All right. Tell all your friends about us. We're going to continue this every week, every Friday, 11 o'clock. Pretty much a short. The way it works, Lex, is a short little training, and then it's open discussion, whatever you need.
Okay.
Do you want that? I'll be happy to send over the sheet to you. All right. You're a Google Drive girl, right?
Yes.
All right. I'll share it with you. Derek,
Thank
you got
you.
yours?
I do. I have it. Thank you.
All right, brother. All right. Anything else? What else can I help you with? Anything?
That was awesome. Thank you.
All right, dear. And have a great day. And Derek, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. I'll be there. I'll see you
Thanks.
sometime soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.